I want to introduce you to a woman named Becky. Let me tell you about Becky. She's a local woman. She's from the Harrisburg area. She's a Christian. She's married. She has 2 kids, and she drives a minivan. Her husband works a ton of hours, so she spends a lot of time with the children. She's the proverbial soccer mom. She's a good mom. She's always carting the kids to and from soccer practice and dance recitals. But often she feels like an underpaid, often unappreciated short order cook, because she's tasked with the job of making meals every day, all day, every day, it seems. And there's always this unending supply of dirty dishes in the sink and laundry that she must contend with day in and day out. And she's proficient in 5th grade algebra because she also has another role, which is the on-call tutor when her kids are doing homework in the evening. So she serves her family at home, she serves her church family on the weekend because much is demanded from Becky. She has a lot on her plate. And frankly, she's tired. Becky is stressed out, she is worn out. But this is her life. And if someone was to heap upon her back one more responsibility, Becky might just collapse. So maybe you know Becky. You might even be Becky. See, Becky is not an individual. It's not one person. Becky represents a larger group of people. Becky is the name given to the demographic that represents the target audience for contemporary Christian radio. This is what's known in the industry as a target audience. And the Christian radio stations make no secret of this. You could read about Becky online. So that's what they're trying to do, is to play music that would appeal to Becky. Stressed out Becky. The worn-out wife and mom who spends a lot of time in the minivan listening to her safe for the whole family Christian radio station. And so stations readily admit this. I mean, this is known in the industry. Some stations will even put up in the radio station there a mock picture of Becky and tell the DJs, look at it, because that's who you're talking to. So you better keep the morning show banter lighthearted for her sake. Because Becky's close to the edge. And you don't want to do anything that's going to push her over, or at minimum, have her change the station. So they know what Becky wants, and they're going to give it to her. What does she want? Safe, positive, uplifting music that won't add any more stress to her already stressed out life. She doesn't want to hear anything controversial. She doesn't want to hear anything that's going to raise any questions from her kids. She gets enough of those already. She doesn't want to hear anything challenging, because frankly, she has enough challenges already. Thank you very much. And she doesn't want to hear anything too theological, because she's got all those algebra formulas in her mind, and frankly, there's only so much room in there. So these stations, they won't do anything that Becky doesn't like. In fact, they're going to come to her with constant encouragement, reminding her time and time again that they are always positive, always uplifting. Now, I'm not trying to knock Christian radio whatsoever, frankly, because there's enough of those people already out there. They do exist. Back in 2003, there's a musician who I'm kind of a fan of. There's a handful of his songs that I really like. His name is Chris Rice. And he wrote a Christian song about Becky. And I don't know how much airplay that this song got back in the day, because he's kind of taken a poke at Christian radio and Becky. So he's kind of taken a shot at them with the lyrics here. And let's see if you see it as well. I will read them rather than sing it, okay, for your benefit and mine. And I heard a thank you. Oh, boy, I tell you. Somebody knows me. All right. It's called Me and Becky. It's the name of the song. It goes like this. Becky has a house on Abundant Life Boulevard. A good name, good family, and butterflies in her yard. Becky loves Jesus and really wants to make him proud. She tears up in church and sings her harmonies loud. She got a Bible by the bed, a prayer journal, and a fish on her car. She makes sure to bow her head and give thanks in every restaurant. But is that enough? Come on, Becky, let's go for a ride. If I'm driving too fast, then I apologize. But there's a world out there that we left behind, full of souls as important as yours and mine. Looks like a reckless road and a sacrifice, and I'm crazy scared it may cost our lives. But then I remember Jesus died. So come on, Becky, let's go for a ride. All right, I said I wasn't going to sing, but once I heard the thank you, I'm singing. That's how I am. I'm rebellious like that. People ask, Mike, how come you're not in the choir? There you go. Exhibit A. But make no mistake, Chris Rice here he's making a run at Christian radio here, and Becky's poking him in the ribs here, and maybe justifiably so. But like I said, I'm not here to criticize. I'm not here to make fun of and say that that this is not how it ought to be, because I think there's a place for this Christian radio, this type of Christian radio. I really do. The reality is, life is hard. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of ugliness in our world. I mean, you compare this with some of the stuff you might hear on political talk radio or even sports talk radio with the constant debates that they're having. You know, the world is cold, and I liken these radio stations to like a warm blanket. And who doesn't like a warm blanket on a cold day? So again, I think there's a place for it. But I bring this up to say that due to all the busyness in our lives and all the stress in our lives, especially just a few days before Christmas, right? I mean, this is high stress season. We got, 3 days till Christmas? We got to make sure we got all the presents bought. Are they all wrapped? What are we doing for food? Oh, we got those in-laws coming. We got all kinds of things that are weighing us down. And it seems to me like we as a society, not just the Beckys of the world, we're a little bit lacking in the joy department. And everybody wants joy, right? I mean, does anybody really say, joy, so overrated? I'd rather be sad and depressed all the days of my life. No, we all want it, but it's so elusive. Like, where do we find it? Where do we get it? What does it look like? Once we got it, how do we hold on to it? Because it seems to just slip through our fingers. Do we need to continually pump contemporary Christian radio into our noggin to get through? Or is there another way?
1, 2, 3, 4! Becky has a house on Abundant Life Boulevard. Good name, a good family, butterflies in her yard. Becky loves Jesus and really wants to make him proud. She tears up in church and she sings her harmonies loud. She's got a Bible by the bed, a prayer journal, and a fish on her car. She makes sure to bow her head and give thanks in every restaurant. But is that enough? Come on, Becky, let's go for a ride. If I'm driving too fast, then I apologize. But there's a world out there that we left behind, full of souls as important as yours and mine. Looks like a reckless road and a sacrifice, and I'm crazy scared it may cost our lives. But then I remember Jesus died. So come on, Becky, let's go for a ride. I'm rolling up to Becky's house on my Sunday drive. I have to laugh to myself, cause it looks exactly like mine. Smile and wave at all the happy people strolling by. We've got the same walk, same talk, and the same sparkle in our eyes. Cause we're thankful for the blessings that maybe we could lay them aside. I get a feeling we might be missing the time of our lives. So hop in and hold on tight. Come on, Becky, let's go for a ride. If I'm driving too fast, then I apologize. But there's a world out there that we left behind, full of souls as important as yours and mine. Looks like a reckless road and a sacrifice, and I'm crazy scared it may cost our lives. But then I remember Jesus died. So come on, Becky. Come on, Becky. We're so thankful for the blessings that maybe we could lay them aside. I get a feeling we might be headed